Okay, I think we're recording. So
we are. It just told me it was recording.
Okay, so I'm going to do your assessment. I'm Hannah Oshields. I'm a MSW student, and I do have to let you know before we start, if you make anything that says that you're going to harm yourself or a child, I do have to report that to make sure that you get the help that you need. So you good with that?
Facebook has the same protocol. I actually just got out of Facebook jail because they thought I wanted to organize a mass suicide, apparently.
Oh
because
my
I asked people to go cliff jumping at Osage Hills, and I got put in Facebook jail for 24 hours.
Okay, so you're good. I'm a human being, so I should be able to clarify with you, and I will let you know if I'm going to have to report anything. So
you're good.
Okay. So I'll start the boring. What is your name, your full name?
Cassandra Ann Blunt, B-L-O-U-N-T.
Okay, and what is your date of birth?
June 23rd, 1989.
Okay, and what is your preferred name for me to refer to you, like
Cassie?
First name, but formal, just Cassie?
Cassie.
Okay, and then what is your gender identity?
Pronouns are she, her, female.
Awesome. And what is your marital status?
Single, dating.
Okay. And what is your sexual orientation?
Somewhere on the LGBTQ spectrum between I like men and I like women, and I don't know exactly where that is, and that's okay.
That's okay. Okay.
Fluid and figuring it out.
Yes. So hearts, not parts.
Yes. Okay. Pretty much, yes. Okay. Exactly.
What languages do you speak?
Well, I speak English. Je parle un peu de français, mais pas beaucoup.
Nice. I don't speak that.
And then in college, I took a couple of diction classes for different languages. So I was a music major. So I understand how to read German, Spanish, French, and Italian according to the phonics that they use. I just have no idea what I'm saying.
Okay, cool. So you have the ability to memorize languages and to absorb information. That's good. Whenever you were in school, did you have to have any special accommodations or any advanced classes?
No special accommodations. I did take advanced classes. I was 2 years advanced in math, so I skipped 6th grade math, and I skipped 6th and 8th. So I went straight into algebra in 6th grade, and then geometry, or no, it was algebra in 7th grade. So, and then I was AP in English until I found out the only reason you're AP in English is to take that test. And I was like, screw that. I don't want to do all these summer reading assignments to take this test. And by the way, I took the test and I clept out anyway without the advanced classes. And it saved me money, time, and homework and summer reading. And I didn't have to read about Oedipus the King a 3rd time.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. I don't need to read about you and your mother complex. No. And then the other AP class I was in was music theory.
Okay, cool.
So I actually graduated high school as a college sophomore.
Very cool.
When you throw in cosmetology credits.
So you did cosmetology after. What other education or classes have you taken?
So cosmetology was during high school. So that was from 2006 to 2008. I'm going to get up and turn on a fan. It's kind of hot in here. Yeah. And then I did 4 years of college. I have an Associates of Applied Science an Associates of Applied Technical Sciences. And that basically just means that I have my cosmetology license, and I took gen ed classes, and I took my family away. Cool. So, and then I'm 28 credits away from a bachelor's degree in vocal performance that I'll probably honestly never finish, just because I thought I was going to be the next Kennedy Coggle and go be on Broadway, but I wasn't blessed with parents who were able to afford me the opportunities to land me in those circumstances. So, and that's not to say that she didn't work for it, because she works very hard, and I know that personally because we practiced so much in my backyard. So,
okay. So you, what is your, what would you consider your like racial and ethnic background?
Caucasian, white.
Okay, cool.
I actually just spit in an ancestry tube, so I'll have more information on that in like a week, but
let's see what kind of white.
Not just yet.
Nice. So, and then what is your main source of income?
I'm a cosmetologist. I'm a self-employed cosmetologist. My company is Beauty by Cassie LLC. So I do people's hair and all of that. I rent a spot in a salon, and then I pay myself, I pay my taxes. I take 30% off for taxes, and then I pay myself the remainder minus about 500 stays in that account for whatever needs to be there, buying supplies, taking classes, all of that. So Kind of looks like embezzlement, but it's not. It's very hard to find a banker that I can talk to say, hey, I need to wire money from my business account to my personal account.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just you're self-employed. Do you have any type of insurance or anything like that for health?
I have health insurance, yes, through the marketplace. I actually upgraded that this year. I
Okay.
had oh gosh, it was like Cigna or something through Regis back then. And then I switched to something else last year. And now I want to say Blue Cross Blue Shield is dentist. I have community care
Okay, cool.
through Obamacare or through the Affordable Care Act.
Oh, cool. Yes. So do you have any current problems that you're wanting to work on?
Oh yeah. So I've been dealing with just basically stress and anxiety, and I injured my foot in this one last year. Kayaking, fell off, smacked it on a rock, spent like 4 months in a walking boot, had to get multiple steroid shots, which, pardon my French, anyone watching, may be batshit crazy. 3 steroid shots in 3 months is not fun. So at that point, I noticed that any of the medicines that they were giving me, anything that they were giving me was not helping. Nothing was helping. They even had me on tramadol at one point, and it did nothing at all. I was walking my dog with a knee scooter. I have a shower chair in my shower. And at that point, I noticed that I was getting a little bit heavy on the drinky. So that's when I enrolled in seeing my therapist, because I was like, I got to find a better way to deal with this anxiety and this stress and the pain in the foot. And yeah, it feels great whenever you're drunk and you don't give a crap, but it doesn't feel so great the next day when you're hungover and going to work and you're limping and you're dehydrated. So yeah, just mental health, stress, anxiety, not doing the drinky now. So
well, that's good. So
at least not so much, just weekends.
Yeah, it sounds like severe chronic pain that wasn't responding to anything, and you finally found something that worked, but then it caused more problems. So
yeah, the something that worked is something that is an okay short term, but definitely not a long term fix.
Yes,
basically summed up with instant gratification and a long term payoff.
Yes. So whenever you started going to therapy, what are some of the coping skills that you started using?
Okay, so she had me download a couple of apps. So there's one that I found that's called the Believe app, but it basically gives you positive affirmations multiple times a day, and you can pick and choose what categories you want, which ones you don't want. You can write in your own if you like them. You can have it send them to you twice a day or 16 times a day. So I started doing that. I started writing some of them down, verbally saying them to myself. I started writing in a journal. My therapist said something to do is just kind of take a pause, relax, get just a little bit more comfortable, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and then just kind of shift and just get just little simple things like that, and being mindful of going on walks, going out and kayaking and not bringing booze with, taking my dog on walks, that type of thing, and just remembering that all this is temporary and it's going to get better.
Okay, awesome. And do you have a certain religious belief or anything like that? Christian? Is it any specific?
The church I go to is Methodist. I'm very definitely not Baptist, very definitely not Wesleyan. They're way too strict, way too. Jesus' first miracle was turning water into wine at a wedding in Capernaum. Literally the first miracle he performed. And then the Wesleyan church wants to say, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't, don't dance. David danced on the roof freaking naked, if I remember correctly. So
that's the church that you attend. Is there anybody in your support system that knows what you're working on right now, that with your anxiety, depression, and trying to cut back on drinking?
I'm very open about it with a lot of people. I don't talk to my parents about it, so mom, dad, stay off YouTube. But CJ, who's the woman who drives the church bus, she and I have been really close since like 2009. My coworkers, dating a couple of guys, they're all aware. So yes, I definitely. And then, I recently joined a women's mental health support chat, and they will have random Zoom meetings. Like it used to be every day, and now I think they're not doing the daily meetings, but they have like weekly meetings at a couple of places.
Oh, cool.
So, and then I also found a friend who said she would go to Celebrate Recovery with me, and I finally got information back from people, because I have been emailing them since February.
Wow.
Because there's one that meets on Monday nights. That's my one day off. And one thing I've learned so far this year is healthy boundaries. Yes, I should be going, but I need one day that's for me. And if I schedule something on the one day that's for me, I'm going to get too overwhelmed. And then guess what happens when you get too overwhelmed? So I found one that meets on Thursdays. I changed my schedule to where I am now off on Thursdays, and I believe they're starting up meetings again next week. So
Cool.
yeah, lots and lots of support system.
So you got all kinds of support system. And are there any relationships that are making things more difficult for you right now?
Possibly. I would say there's one that could be making things more difficult, and it's not even this person's fault. It's more they were both going through a lot of stuff at the same time, and then trying to be there for the other one, which almost means you neglect yourself a little bit. It kind of made me think of the story, if you remember the story of the woman with the long hair and the man with the pocket watch. And the woman cuts off her hair to buy him a chain for his watch, and he sells his watch to buy her a comb for her hair. So she no longer has the hair to use the comb. He no longer has the watch for the chain.
Okay, so you feel like there's a certain relationship that is
I feel like that might
maybe
not be the most healthy because I'm neglecting myself to put effort into someone else in that one.
So you're giving more than you have, and the boundaries are not a place where you're comfortable. They're kind of pulling you down a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you thought about how you might put boundaries down with that person, or have you had a conversation in the past?
We had one last Thursday. We have to have another one. Like I said, it's kind of hard right now because this person is going through a lot of personal stuff. A mentor for this person died recently. They're in the process of moving, going through a custody battle and a divorce. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on. And I think a lot of it's just timing and just distancing myself a little bit, which I have. The last time we hung out was last Thursday. So it's been a week and a couple of days. So I think
you genuinely do care about this person. You just may not have, you know that it's not up to you to fix their issues.
I can't fix. Yeah, I'm in charge of me, myself, and I.
Yep. Good. Awesome. Sounds like you got good boundaries, and it sounds like you got a good support system. I guess, what is one goal that you have for yourself in the next week in regards to your managing your own mental health and well-being?
One goal. I don't know if it's so much can it be more like a desire?
Sure. Yeah.
To not wake up in a panic attack tomorrow.
Okay.
I have woken up the past 3 or 4 days basically in a panic attack. Anastasia, no ma'am. Just kind of waking up and, oh no, I slept through my alarm. I'm going to be late for my client. Heartbeat's racing and I don't know why.
Okay.
So I guess the goal would be to figure out different coping skills and mechanisms to prevent that from happening, which I've listened to like 4 different meditations going to sleep the past couple of days that are to reduce stress and anxiety. And I'm still waking up just like, so.
So figuring out what's causing that would probably be a good goal for sure.
I know what's causing it, but we're not going to go into that.
Okay.
So
sure.
I know exactly what's causing it, and that'll, yeah. But by the middle of this month, actually within the next like 7 days, I'll have information on that particular ordeal.
Okay. Awesome. And it sounds like you've got EMDR coming up too, which can be helpful for you.
I'm hoping so.
Therapeutically. And then just to close, I just have a questionnaire. It's a scaling questionnaire, and it's 0 to 3, 0 meaning not at all, and 3 meaning every day.
Okay.
And it's 9 questions. So let me know when you're ready to go. Okay. Over the last 2 weeks, how often have you been bothered by the following problems? Little interest or pleasure in doing things?
You cut out a bit.
Okay.
Little interest or pleasure in things?
Yeah, little interest or pleasure in doing things.
Not at all. Not at all bothered by.
Okay, not at all a problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Feeling down or hopeless?
1 is bad and 3 is good, or is that opposite?
Okay, so 0 is good, 3 is bad. 3 is the worst.
So 0 for that one.
Okay. Feeling down or hopeless?
1.
Okay. Trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or sleeping too much?
3.
Okay.
always been a 3 for my entire life, as long as I can remember.
Okay. So not just the last 2 weeks, but long term.
Always, since forever.
Okay. Feeling tired or having little energy?
1, and I'm gonna say that's due to all this excess heat.
Yeah. Either under or over, poor appetite or overeating?
2, poor appetite.
Okay. Feeling bad about yourself?
1. There's
Okay.
obviously the occasional thought that creeps in, but I know that that's lies and not truth. So
Yeah. Trouble concentrating, such as reading the newspaper or television.
3.
Okay. Moving or speaking slowly that other people have noticed. Or the opposite, being so fidgety that people notice you're moving more than usual.
It's not more than usual, but I'm always moving and fidgety. So somewhere between 1 and 2, because it's not something that other people are like, oh, you're moving. Oh, you're fidgety. But I'm always moving and always fidgety.
Okay.
Always.
Okay. So 2, and then thoughts that you would be better off dead.
0.
Okay. Okay, so if you have checked off any of these problems,